Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Adri Monet. I'm super excited to do another Mary Kay look for you guys. Everything I use in this video will be Mary Kay. So if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and tell me what you think of the video. Let's get right to it. So I've already done my Mary Kay skincare routine using my Time Wise Miracle Set. And my skin is clean and prepped and ready to go for makeup application. I'm starting off with the Mary Kay Time Wise Matte 3D Foundation in the color Bronze Warm 130. And basically I'm just going to dab this all over my face, and I'm going to use Mary Kay's new foundation brush to dab the foundation into my skin all over, making sure that it is very well blended. You want to make sure that you're blending the foundation into your neck really well and also up into your hairline. Next, I'm going to be mixing two concealer colors together, the light beige and light bronze. You don't have to do this, I just prefer to use two concealers whenever I am highlighting. I'm going to make sure that I focus on the T-zone areas, that's right up under my eyes, going towards my cheekbones, right down the middle of my nose, the middle of my forehead, just underneath my nose, and in the middle of my chin. I'm going to wet my Beauty Blender sponge and make sure that I blend up under my eyes and outwards onto my cheekbones really well. You want to be sure that when you're blending in your T-zone areas that you're not spreading the concealer out too far into your areas that you will be contouring later. Just make sure you stay well within that T-zone area, not spreading your concealer too far. Next, I'm going to make sure I set my concealed areas. I am using Mary Kay Translucent Setting Powder. Before I set my powder, I always want to make sure that I have no creasing, especially underneath my eyes. So when you're blending your concealer under your eyes, make sure it is smooth up under your eyes before you throw that powder on. And I'm going to do this just for a couple minutes. For my contour, I'm going to be using the Cocoa shade, the contour powder that Mary Kay has. It's kind of dark, so I try not to use, or I should say, I try not to put too much product on my brush. But as you can see, I'm contouring the areas that I want to appear thinner. If you want more information on how to highlight and contour, I do have a video already uploaded. You can go back and watch that. Now as I'm going in to contour my nose, I don't know why I did this, and I normally don't use such a big brush to contour my nose. So please don't follow the leader in this area of my video. I normally use a much smaller brush to contour my nose. So I was just being lazy, I think. Once I finish my contour, I like to bring my contoured areas just a little bit higher, if that makes sense. So on my cheekbones, I bring them just a little bit closer towards my concealed areas, and same thing on my forehead and chin, just so that you can't see the difference between my concealer and my contoured areas. You really want to blend those together well. For blush, I'm mixing two colors together. The hot coral and wineberry colors are really pretty together. Going into brows, I will say I'm not a huge fan of Mary Kay's brow pencil, but their hot fudge eyeshadow color works really well to blend in eyebrows, especially brows that are darker. So I use a little trick using eyeshadow and an angled brush to fill in my brows and line my brows. Before I apply eyeshadow, I like to set my eyes or prime my eyes with concealer. So I'm using the same concealers I used at the beginning on my face to prime my eyes. I like to line my brows underneath just to make them appear sharper and more defined. And then I bring that concealer down onto my lid, and I blend it really well. After I've done that, I do use a little bit of Mary Kay powder to set the concealer, just like I do when I'm highlighting and contouring. It just makes the surface a lot smoother before you start to apply your eyeshadow. And now you're ready to apply your eyeshadow colors, which will pop a lot more since you've primed. So I'm going to be starting off with my first color, which is Cinnabar. And I'm blending that color along my brow bone. I'm going to make sure I'm not bringing it too high to my brow. Mostly in the inner corners, the closest it'll get to my brow. But once I get to my outer corner, I really don't want that color to get too close to my brows. I'm going to blend this color really well along my brow bone, and I'm also going to pull it from my lash line out to the corner as well. Next, I'm going to take that hot fudge color and I'm going to blend that color right underneath the Cinnabar color, and I'm going to blend them together. The hot fudge color will be more centered in my crease, but still making sure you're blending those two colors together really well. So next I'm going to start to create that halo effect with this color Onyx, which is a dark black color. I will say this color, I really wish it was a lot darker. It's black, but it's not as dark and smoky as I wish it would be, but it gets the job done. So I'm going to take that color in my inner and my outer corners and also along my crease to start to create that circular halo effect. So if you haven't caught on by now, this look is a cut crease look, which requires a really sharp-ended brush. If you're new to cut creases, I plan to do a video on how to create a cut crease look. It's literally just a more defined eyeshadow look, and there's different styles that you can use. But this, you can use it with a halo effect. So using a concealer, I'm gonna tap that sharp edge of my brush just above my crease, just creating a more defined and round look. With the concealer, you're gonna pull that down onto your lid and blend it onto your lid really well. You have to be really careful, really precise, and it does take a decent amount of time to do a really good cut crease. With this cut crease look, I'm not going to take my cut all the way to the end, to the outer corner and the inner corner, just part of the way. And by the way, you do want to set this concealer with a little bit of powder so that it dries really well. And if you need to, you can take a really sharp angled brush. This is the same brush I used for my brows to kind of darken the area above your crease, which makes it even more defined. And now we're ready for the fun part with this halo look, and that is adding the pretty colors. So this is Emerald Noir, and I am just going to add this color to the outer and inner portion of the halo. Initially, I was only going to fill this color in on the outer and inner corners, but for some reason I really felt like taking it all the way through. So you'll see in a bit that I'm actually gonna add this color not just in the outer and inner portions of the halo, but I actually ended up filling in the whole halo as you can see right here. So I don't know, I think I was just playing around with it and seeing what I would come up with. The last color we're going to use is the Gold Status color. It's a pretty golden color, very pretty color. And I'm just going to run that color down the center of my halo. Don't forget to add colors to your bottom lash line. The closest color to your lash line should be your darkest color. It can be either the black color, but I chose to go with Hot Fudge because I like brown under my eyes more so than black. So I started with Hot Fudge and then I blended outwards with Cinnabar. In my inner corners, I added a splash of that Gold Status color as well, just to give an extra little pop. Next, I'm going to go in with Mary Kay's liquid eyeliner pen just to add my liner to the top portion of my lid and on my bottom lash line as well. Next, I'm going to use Mary Kay's Lash Love Fanorama Mascara to give my eyelashes the perfect amount of pop. And because I love the drama, of course I'm going to add a pretty lash. This is Salon Perfect, one of my favorite drugstore brands, and it just adds the perfect amount of pop. And this has got to be my favorite part, the highlighter. This is actually a liquid eyeshadow from Mary Kay, the light beam color, and I like to use it as a highlight. That pretty highlight, that sunlit look that you add to the end of your foundation and makeup routine. So I rub this right above my blushed area, between my blushed area and my concealed area on my cheeks, Make sure you blend it really well and don't allow it to dry all the way because then it gets really hard to blend. But I also blend that just above my lip, a little bit on my chin, and of course down the center of my nose. So next, to finish with lips, I am using Mary Kay's Deep Nude Lip Liner to line and fill in my lips. Next, I followed up with Mary Kay's Cream Lipstick Color in Naturally Buff. And to add a pop of shine, I added Mary Kay's new lip gloss, and this is the color Chocolate Nude. You guys have got to try these glosses. And I do this often to add a little bit of, I guess you could say, light to my inner portion of my lip. I use concealer. It's a trick I've learned from other makeup artists to just add a little bit of concealer to the bottom part of your lip and blend it together. It just looks really good. And don't forget your Mary Kay finishing spray so that it lasts all day. Use your foundation brush to press that into your skin for a nice finish. And this look is complete. Tell me what you guys think. We have slayed this cut crease halo look using all Mary Kay products. Please make sure you comment below. Make sure you click subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please stay flawless, beauties.